What's happening? Let's talk about getting your mind right, especially in this crazy fucking world we're living at the moment. One way we can set a positive intention for the day ahead is to have a good morning routine. There's one thing that I've tried to solidify at each lockdown. Obviously when I'm working normally, or when most people are working normally, and you kind of have a morning routine anyway, because you kind of have somewhere to go to. But for me especially, at the moment I haven't got anywhere to fucking go to, so it's very difficult to get into a morning routine, especially working from home. So one thing, the main point of this is for you to set a positive expectation for the day, so you can set the day up to flow well and have some goals or tasks that you're going to achieve for the day. So this is all about setting up positive intentions for the day, taking control of the morning so the rest of your day goes with a positive flow, and kind of setting your mindset in a more structured and positive flow going forward. So me personally, obviously this is the third lockdown, whether you want to call it lockdown or not, it's fucking lockdown. Each time I go into a lockdown, I kind of go into like a pit of despair for about a week, because it takes a lot of energy and time for me to kind of shut down my business and kind of navigate everything that's going on, but also communicate with all the clients that I'm dealing with. So for about a week, it's just nothing really much gets done for me. I mean, I will adjust all the programming and admin that I need to do, but other than that, that week is just a write-off for me. I find it so hard to adjust, especially having waken up at all times, going to sleep at all times. So after that first week, I kind of go, okay, this is not sustainable, and it's just a downhill curve. So I have to try and reinforce a better morning routine, and it works great for me. So in this video, I'm going to share the tips and reasons behind them as well. Setting the mood for the day, trying to get yourself in a more of a powerful mindset where you, instead of feeling crap or not in control of your life, it's about taking back control of things that you can control, and have enough self-awareness to create a better environment for yourself. So being happy and being less depressed or sad about things that are going on is definitely in your control, as long as you set up the environment that will facilitate that. If your environment and your routines don't facilitate that, then you're not going to be in a better mood, or you're not going to be able to cope with all the challenges that present themselves to you going forwards. So I've got 4 tips I'm going to give you. My first tip is to read more. I know it kind of seems trivial, but one thing I've realized in 2020 and obviously a little bit into this year is how little a lot of the population read. And it's really important that you read new material, stuff that's fresh to your brain, because one, it limits screen time. So the more time you spend reading, the less time you're on a screen, which is always going to be positive for your mindset. So reading something new is literally exercise for your brain. It strengthens your brain, it builds new connectivity, you're going to build a better vocabulary and comprehension of many other subjects that you might come across each day. As well as learning new ideas, obviously, one thing reading can do is to lower your stress levels, but also help you to empathize better as well. So this British philosopher, Sir Roger Scruton, once wrote, "Consolation from imaginary things is not an imaginary consolation. People with depression often feel isolated and estranged from everyone else, and that's a feeling books can sometimes lessen. Reading fiction can allow you to temporarily escape your own world and become swept up in the imagined experience of the characters. And non-fiction self-help books can teach you strategies that may help you manage symptoms." So literally, the more you read, the more you're going to help alleviate depression symptoms. That's why the United Kingdom's National Health Service has begun the Reading Well, a prescription program where medical experts prescribe self-help books curated by medical experts specifically for certain conditions. I mean, they're literally, even with the recent book I'm reading on emotional intelligence, they use reading as a tool to help people with clinical depression to alleviate those stresses. Alright, number 2, journaling. This is something I've started doing on the second half of 2020, which has been a game changer for me. So again, another tool that's going to help you reduce screen time, It's also going to help you practice your writing skills, and of course it's going to help organizing your thoughts. So that is one of the main reasons I started doing journaling, having come across it, mainly because in the past or even now I struggle to put feelings to words. So that's probably a common theme amongst a lot of males. So taking the time to think about your thoughts, organize them and write them down allows me and can allow you to literally put feelings to words, and then you're able to, one, vocalize it more to people, but also organizing your own brain as well. So yeah, journaling is a huge tool that you can use to literally organize your thoughts and process any emotions that you're having at the moment. So I definitely recommend that. Okay, so I start the morning journaling with two questions. The first question being, today what I'm proud of is, and you kind of write this in the sense of it's already happened. Yeah, so it's kind of an affirmation, and again that helps set the positive tone for the day. The second question is 3 things I'm grateful for. So another practice that is positive habit is to express gratitude. So expressing gratitude keeps you in a state of appreciation, but also there is some spiritual belief if you express gratitude and abundance and you vibrate at a higher level, the spiritual belief is that the universe will meet you on that new vibrational level and return what is being expressed. So it's definitely been positive for me expressing gratitude, because especially within all these lockdowns and stuff where so many feel like things are taken away from them and you're not in control of many things in your life, I think taking the time to express some gratitude of what you do have in comparison to a lot of the world can be quite a positive thing to do. And again, it sets the mood for the day. If you start the day with a bit more positive attitude, then you're probably more likely to do more positive things later that day. Tip number 3 is walking, or a morning walk. Personally, I won't always do it in the morning myself, but I do recommend you do it in the morning. I will try to do it most of the time in the morning, just because it stops me being on the computer as much and it gets me out the flat. If I just walk, I probably wouldn't leave the flat unless I had to go exercise or some shit. So that is tip number 3. I know it kind of seems like, oh, just go for a walk, but it is very positive for reducing stress, changing your environment and getting some fresh air. But also because in the winter now, sunlight is like 4 hours if you're lucky. So getting in some vitamin D is very positive, especially now during the situation where there's a virus going around, and vitamin D does help to boost your immune system. If you can, try to take a 20 to 30 minute walk. Try to be in nature as much as you can. So any sort of parks, greenery, by water or anything, this is guaranteed to help you reduce your stress, improve your mood and lower anxiety levels as well. Like I said, I've been forcing myself every day to go out for at least 20-30 minute walk, and it's been a game changer on this third lockdown. Okay, tip 4, meditation. So very much a subject that a lot of people are kind of like on or off. They don't do it or they do it. I was very much 2019, I probably didn't do much meditation at all. Maybe a few times, just dabbled in it, but I didn't really see much benefit to it. 2020, I've meditated for all of 2020. I would do it every day, but I would do it at least 3-4 times a week. And again, another habit that has been a massive game changer for me, being able to cope with all of the issues going around in 2020 with the lockdowns and businesses stopping and being self-employed. It can be a very stressful situation. So meditation just helps calm the noise, bring down anxiety and reduce the stress levels, but also gives you clarity of mind and clarity of thought, and also helps you to process any emotions as well. And that is something that I've definitely benefited from. From what I've obviously read into about meditation, anything that you do which makes you be present in the moment is a form of meditation. So that could be cooking, I don't know, cleaning, it could be cleaning, gardening, anything where you're only focused on what you're doing at that moment in time is a form of meditation. So you don't necessarily have to do it the traditional way, sit there with like this, but you can find another way to meditate. Also having a daily stretch, a long daily stretch where you're being present and focusing on your body and kind of checking in with your body is a form of meditation. So I do recommend doing that as well every day. If you need a stretch routine, you don't have to do a full body stretch, just hit the link in my bio. There's a full stretch routine there you can follow on that. So one thing I've realized about meditation is, even though I've been doing it kind of in a traditional sense and practicing it in the self-exploration, training is a big meditation, a style of meditation for me, because it does force me to be in the present moment. So I think this is why a lot of people gravitate to weight training or the gym, because you can't really think about anything else. You have to think about what's going on at that moment, and you have to be very focused, especially with strength training, because it takes a lot of skill and brain power. I mean, the ultimate goal is to find stillness and self-exploration. And a big thing about meditation, you have to learn to release control. So I'm going to read this text from Adyashanti's books, one of his books that he's written. So many people think that it is the function of a spiritual teaching to provide answers to life's biggest questions, but actually the opposite is true. The primary task of any good spiritual teaching is not to answer your questions, but to question your answers. For it is your conscious and unconscious assumptions and beliefs that distort your perception and cause you to see a separation of vision where there is actually only unity and completeness. The reality that these teachers are pointing towards is not hidden or secret or far away. You cannot earn it, deserve it, or figure it out. At this very moment, reality and completeness are in plain sight. In fact, the only thing there is to see, hear, smell, taste, touch, or feel is reality, or God if you like. Absolute completeness surrounds you wherever you go, so there is really no reason to bother yourself about it, except for the fact that we humans have long ago deceived ourselves into such a confined tangle of confusion and disarray that we scarcely even consider, much less in spirit for ourselves, divinity within and all around us. So again, meditation practice brings you back to feeling the whole and how everything is connected, and trying to break down the conditioning that people are separate, we're all separate beings and we're all separate entities, whereas everything in nature functions as a unity. If one thing drops, then it affects everything else. So that is something you can learn through meditation and experience. So I would recommend it highly. If you need any sources, just holler at me, I'll let you know how you can start to practice meditation. Again, it's not something that you're going to learn to master straight away. You have to try and practice it little by little. Alright guys, that's enough talking anyway. I hope you enjoyed that, and those are my 4 tips to building a better morning routine. And let me know if you try any of those and if they work, if they help or anything like that. So anyway, have a good week. Peace out.